Hi everyone, welcome on my classes. I will show you how create these 4 cards with different collection. All of them are Scrap Boys papers. So on that part of my classes I will show you how create that card with Industrial Romance, with Vintage Legend, Fairyland and with Moments collection. Before we start create the cards, prepare paper with elements for cutout and pen for mark elements which we have to cut out before we start create each card. Also everyone received white paper in A4 size which we will cut for correct size. This is the first part of class, so you will see other cards on another videos, but as I said, first we have to cut out all needed elements for all these cards and then we can start create each card one by one. This is a Fairyland, this is Moments collection, Vintage Legend, and last one Industrial Romance. And here you can see this is a paper with elements for cutout. So please prepare 4 papers with collection which I said and pencil for mark elements which are necessary for create the card. We will mark all of them, cut out them, and then we can start create cards. So I have cut them out already, but mark this flower on the corner, it's necessary. Then the birds, it's that one. Then whole composition, it's here on the left side, the small clock on the right side, feather, there is another small single rose with leaves, single head of rose, few small leaves, the triple leaves, I think like 5, 6 maybe, so you can mark the smallest one. Then another whole composition with the clock, it's here on the right side. Then middle clock, and another composition with 3 pink roses, it's here next to feather. Then another composition on the top on the corner, another bird, this huge one, then another composition with roses, and it is similar as we have but a bigger single roses with leaves. Yeah, after you mark all of those elements we can find another paper. Oh, and that single rose is also here. Yeah, that's all. Now it's a Fairyland collection, and again we have to mark what we need prepare before we start create the cards. So first the flowers, both composition on the corner. Then we have a small white, I don't know, it's daisies. So 4 of them. Then lamp, the single lamp. then fairy tale, that's one, then a bunny with flowers on the head, then another red red hair fairy tale, then a mushroom, moon, then bird. It's you can choose one of them, they are the same size, and then the cup, but just the cup without this part with window, just the cup, and that's all. And then find another paper with elements for cutout and mark what we need from that paper. I prepare my, yeah. First we need these two pipes. They are here on the top and the second is on the bottom, so both of that pipe are necessary. What next? We have butterflies, so three this orange butterflies. Then flowers and leaves. This yellow flower, this leaves next to the pipe, then orange flower but without this blue ribbon, just the flowers without the ribbon. Then the clock with wings, then the clock which is under, then two frames, one is here and also have to cut out inside, and here is another frame also cut off the paper inside. What else? The wings, yeah, there are just two on the paper, so it's really easy find them. Yeah, so both these wings, birds, yeah, it's here on the top. It he must look on the left side. And then this, I don't know how it's in English, but it's here next to the bird, this metal stuff. And then look, we have leaves, green leaves. So it's here, then another it's here. I think we need all of them from that paper. Yeah. Yeah. So all of them. And then we have to find last collection. It's moments collection. And here we have not any papers for cut out, so we will use that one. We'll need these gears. Yeah, they are in the circle, so cut out just the gears. Yeah, the in the blue dress also from the circle tag, these two gears. Then from that tag, the gears, but also keep the flowers around her. Yeah, so cut her and just the roses under. Yeah, like that. Then we need the tags. So one tag is here and another is here. So both whole tags. And then on the other side you have a tiny single roses. So I cut them separately like that. You can see this exactly the same rows. So I cut seven or eight of them. It should be enough. So 8 single roses from that side of paper are necessary for create cards with moments collection. So when you finish, cut out all of the elements, we can start create the cards. You need a trimmer or guillotine and your white A4 size papers and also rest papers from that four collections. Yeah. First you have to cut on this paper on 18 centimeters. Yeah, on 18 centimeters, 18, and then turn the paper and score it on 10 and a half. So our card will have 10 and a half by 18. It's a bit shorter than DL size. Yeah, like that. So this is our size of paper which we have to prepare for all the cards. 10 and a half by 18. So you can cut all the papers. 10 and a half is a 21 by 18, but after score. The first layer must be half centimeter smaller, so 17 and a half by 10. This is the first layer, half centimeter smaller than our card. So 17 and a half by 10. Yeah, so you will get around small white frame as you can see now. And then we have to prepare second layer. And second layer must be centimeter smaller, so 16 and a half by 9. Yeah, cut out this white footer. Yeah, and now 9 centimeters by 16 and a half. Yeah, now when you connect both layers, you will have another frame, first in white color, second in brown. Yeah, first layer, yeah, please check your glue on the paper because usually it's a water at the beginning. So first layer we have to cover whole by glue and connect with our white base. Very easy step. Like that, try keep the same distance on each side. You be sure that both layers are connected well. And now we can glue another layer. So use 3 millimeters foam, 3 millimeters foam first on the corners one between, again on the corners, one between them, and then also 3 extra on the longer side. Yeah, now you have like a line. You know, I'm focus. Yeah, so just glue it on a card. You have frame around, and now prepare all the elements which you cut out. So we have all the elements from Vintage Legend collection, and we can start create the composition. First find this composition with the clock. It's a bit a longer composition, so with the leaves. So please fold the leaves on your fingers. They should look then more natural, more 3D, just a bit. And here we will make a composition, and also on the left and right side. Then find the biggest composition, yeah, like that. So we try connect them all together. Then one here. So here we connect them together. Find this another big composition with 3 roses and fold them a bit, just a bit on the fingers. So as you can see, we have a now really great big composition from left to right side, and also a small composition which is going down. After this bigger composition, we have to add another composition with flowers, but a smaller. So each layer on the top should be made of smallest flowers than the last layers. So start connect them. First layer we have to glue. On first layer we have to use a glue. Then another on 2 millimeters foam. Find 2 millimeters foam. Just add a few of that foam. Yeah, 5 should be absolutely enough. And add them to your cards like that. Yeah, then another also with 2 millimeters foam. Just to add a 4. Yes, 4 of this foam on your flower composition, so you can connect them together. They will look like a huge composition made of flowers. Then another one with gars. So yeah, but we glue it. Don't use a 3D foam on it, just a glue, and put it on the top. So on that way, this flowers will connect it all the flowers which are below. Now we have the birds. First, the smallest one, yeah, should be over there. So we have to make a distance between them. So, and the bigger should be more up on, on front, is closer to us, so it should be bigger. The first bird on 2 mm foam, and put under the flowers. And another here. So here on that one foam I add another one. So we have a double foam because the flowers are already on one foam, and we add another, so it's two. So the second part of the bird should be on double, then we will have the same distance on whole birds because the flowers under the birds, they are already on 2 mm foam. Then find this single roses, of course fold them a bit, the leaves, flowers, yeah, just fold them a bit on your finger, they will look more natural, and we try just find the best place for them on our cards. Yeah, maybe this rose with leaves, then clock will be over there. We have covered a bit the clock also by the flowers, then maybe that flower, oh, maybe the smaller will look, or that one will look better. Yeah, correct. So that rose we can fold a bit and connect with the layers by 2 mm foam. Yes, like that. Then the big clock, just check where is a 12, also with 2 mm foam. So add the clock on the top of your composition. Then we need the single rose with leaves, yeah, and just glue it. Now we need another clock, the smaller one, yeah, and it should be here. Cover the rose head by this clock. Like that. Please check where it's a 12, of course. So yeah, I think we use that single rows here. On the top of the clock, again I add a 2 millimeters foam. And a bit of glue on the small clock because they have the same distance, so the roses can be connected with a foam and also with a clock. Now the single flower head on the corner, just for add some decoration, because as you can see the corners are very empty. So then I need this triple leaves. I cut just part of them. Yeah, and glue it on the top. And now we can add just the small details. Yeah, maybe this flower head, or maybe not. Yeah, with 2 millimeters foam I think we can add this flower here on the top, so our composition will look even more 3D. That's whole composition we can cut for a smaller piece, just this green leaves. I need then a bit of flowers, but more necessary for me are green leaves. And I will show you that if we add them between the layers, yeah, here one part and a second on the opposite side more up, so that it's look like the flowers grow from the space between the first and second layer. Yeah, just you can see just a little bit we see the leaves between the layers, so they look like they wanna grow. Now we have the single leaves, so fold them on your fingers, that's important, and glue them. One maybe here under the clock, on that place where you have empty space, where you see that we can add something else. Yeah, maybe here another one. All of them we connect with our cards by glue. Yeah, maybe one here under the flower. And now we have a feather. They look really interesting. But as you can see, they are a bit too long, so we have to cut them for make them shorter. Yeah, so they should be under Yeah, so as you can see then they made a bit contrast on our cards. Yeah, so first card it's ready. I hope you will really enjoy, and we can start then another card. So clean your table and prepare elements for Fairyland cards. Again, we need a trimmer or guillotine, white paper in A4 size, and we have to cut it again on the, yeah, that's paper from that collection. The stripe, and that paper we will need also for one of the layer. So cut again this white paper on 18 centimeters, just on 18 on that way as you see on the screen. So 18 centimeters, and then just turn the paper and score on 10.5 centimeter, 10.5 centimeter score. So we have 18 by 10.5. And again, cut the paper. First I cut off this white footer. They are words in English and Polish, so you can use them for other project or for your cards. And then we have to cut the paper like 10 centimeters, half centimeter smaller than our white paper. So 10 centimeters by 17 and half, because our base is 18 by 10 and half. So 10 by 17 and half centimeters. Yes, so we get white frame around, and we can start, yeah, cut again this white footer. So keep it for other project or use it for your cards. Then we have to cut 9 centimeter, 9 centimeter, that way that you will have three colors. And then we have to cut off a bit of this green on the bottom, cut off that part. So we want to keep just a bit of the green, and then turn the paper and cut it on 16 and a half. Yeah, so 16 and a half. So we have a bit of green, a bit like a sky, a bit like a field. And again, first layer must be connected by glue with the white paper. And just connect it. Yeah, like that. Be sure that they are sticky well on each side. Yeah, just a 2 millimeter, 3 millimeters foam. As you can see, they should have more or less same distance between each other. So 3 on one side and 5 on the longer side. Yeah, just glue it. After that step, prepare all the elements which you cut out from the paper, and we can start create the stand on our card. First we need this porcelain cup. Yeah, and the cup should be on 2 millimeters foam. Yeah, I think 7 foam should be absolutely enough. And now we can put it on our card. Then just add this fairy. One will be sit here on the cup, and the second will dance on the cup. We have to glue them on the foam, on 2 millimeters foam, and also the rest of her body must be connected with a cup by glue. And second fairy tale must be exactly the same way, so add just 3 millimeters foam, yeah, put like that. Now we need the moon. Moon should be on a background, so then the pattern looks more interesting. It's look like she dancing in the night in the forest somewhere. Yeah, just glue it. Now we need this flowers composition. So the two of them, we have to fold them a bit on the fingers as we fold our flowers in a first card. So they should be more or less on the middle of our cup. They have to cover this window. Yeah, on that way. We have to connect them by glue first. Just add a bit glue on the first flower and then glue the second one. when you have this whole composition connected together, then we need a 2 millimeters foam, just few of them. Yeah, and we can add them on our cup. Remember that the flower should cover your window, which is on the cup. Then we have empty top of our card, so we have to create something over there. I use this white flowers on the corners. Also we'll need that lamp. Lamp will hang under the white flower. So just add this 3 millimeters foam on the flowers and 2 millimeters foam on the lamp. They should be on a different distance. The flowers put on the corner and then the lamp below one of the flowers which is on the left side. What else we need? The bird fly on the sky. Yeah, must be on 3 millimeters foam. Yeah, so I will cut one foam in a half and add this half of foam on his wings. Yeah, on his wings. Yes, like that. So he will fly to our fairy tales. Say something. Then we have a mushrooms, two white flowers, and a bunny with a flower with wreath on the head. Yeah, first I add again this white flowers on the corners. And then bunny. Bunny will sit here. So I add 2 millimeters foam. And then 3 millimeters foam on it. Yeah. And also on his head another 3 millimeters. Yeah, like that. So he will sit next to the fairy tale with white hair. So we can add also double 3 millimeters foam. So I glue them together. 3 millimeters foam glue together, and we'll put it under the bunny. So I keep it by scissor, put them under. Yeah, on that way he will be connected well with all the composition with the layers. Now I have a mushroom, and mushroom will be on the 2 millimeters foam, but first we have to cut them in a triple. They must be very tiny for a mushroom leg. Yeah, and we can connect it over there. And also here I add one of 2 mm foam on the mushroom head. Yeah, so on that way our card is finished. So just clean a bit your table before we start to make another. So it's a time for our third card. Yeah, we need industrial romance paper. Close the glue. It's not necessary right now. Prepare your elements and again guillotine or trimmer and cut this A4 size paper for 18 centimeters again. You can cut all of them for 18 centimeters and then turn paper and score it on 10.5. Each cards are in the same size, 18 by 10.5, so you can prepare base for all the cards at once. First we need that paper. Just keep this white footer with the words in English. And again, we have to cut paper in 10 centimeters by 17.5. Always first layer is in that size, so 17.5 by 10 centimeters. It's a half centimeter smaller than white paper, which have a 18 by 10.5 centimeters. So 17.5 by 10. And the second layer have always 9 centimeters. We cut it right now. So it's 8 centimeters. No, 9, sorry, 9 centimeters by 16.5. Is 1 centimeter smaller than the first layer. I made some mistake. 2 centimeters, half centimeter too small. So I cut it again. 16.5 by 9. And now it should be fine. Yeah, so now it's correct and right. Now again we have to cover first layer, first paper by glue. Just cover whole paper by glue. Yeah, and now the second layer with 3 millimeters foam. Just be sure that the papers are connected well. And second layer with 3 millimeters foam. Again, add them around. Remember, just keep this almost same distance between each 3D foam. On that way, when you start create the composition on that layer, the paper will not folding. It's very important. They will be. Just connect them and then prepare elements, the best part of our class. So creating the main composition on the card. First we need these wings. They must be on the glue. Yeah, like that. From left to right side. So more or less in the middle, but a bit more up. Yeah. Then we need this two pipe in the middle of the card. Yeah. Glue them. Yeah. There is the second pipe. Yeah, and here in the middle we will create the main composition with the frames, with birds, with clocks, with flowers. First we need that a huge frame, then this clock with the wings. So we can connect them together by glue first. Like that. And after we connect that frame with this clock, we have to use foam. I need that foam and just put them on the place where the clock is connected with the frame, and one in the middle. Yeah, just put this clock in the middle with that frame. Then we have another clock. Again on the foam. Two millimeters. And then we have that frame, which must be on that clock. But for this, then we put green leaves around. Yeah, but we have to cut in the middle, in a half, 3D foam because they are too big. So cut them in a half. Like that, few of them. And just add them on the back side of that frame, as you see right now. Here, just add that circle. Circle frame here. Yeah, that we will see clock inside. Here, yeah, here is the clock. So it should be exactly in the middle. Then find the bird. He will sit between the layers, between the frames, just with glue and just between the frame and the clock with the wings. Then we need this metal thing, one on the top and second same on the bottom. On the opposite side just cut again in a half your 3D foam, because as you can see they are a bit too big, and just add one this metal thing on the opposite side on the corner. Then we have this flower, but they are also too long, so cut this yellow flower a bit, fold it on a finger, fold the leaves and flowers. Here just few 3D foams. Yeah, then we have this butterfly. So just fold the wings also. So then butterflies look more natural. One will be here on a corner and two of them more in the center of our card. One here and one over there on the left side. He will sit on the green leaves. Yeah, over there. Also, all of green leaves you have to fold on your fingers as you see on the video. Just fold them. They will look much better, much more natural. Yes, so after we fold all the green leaves and the wings of the butterflies, we can start create this flower. You can keep, maybe we will need it somewhere. So now we can start add the green leaves around the composition. We will check which match perfectly to our cards. It's a bit too long, so just cut it a bit. That's green leaf, yeah, here on the frame. On glue. Here is a second leaf. I put it again between the layers as we made in the cards with Vintage Legend. One on the top and maybe one we will add more on the right side. Yeah, maybe here. Yeah, and then around the clock between the layers we have to add this green leaf. Just cut them a bit and add them in empty space, so you can decide where the composition is too empty. And add these green leaves just around the wings and around the clock, the metal frame. More or less the same way as I make on the video. This is also too big, so I cut it in half. Still is too big, so yeah, right now it's fine. So we will see just a little bit of this orange flower. Yeah, also the yellow, the rest of the yellow flowers we can glue on the opposite side. Just for add a bit of contrast to our composition, because it's a very dark, there is a lot of green, a lot of metal things, not the papers things, but in metal color. Yeah, this one we have to cut out the bigger leaf, just keep the smallest leaves, they look much better in the composition. Yes, so we have to add them. Yeah, just around the composition. So just green leaves. Sorry. Around again we have to cut this a big leaf. Then we have a butterfly here, one here on the corner and one on the left side. Yeah, over there, or maybe on the frame, maybe on that flower, on the orange flower. Yeah, so just add the glue on the leaves. Here maybe smaller, the tiny leaves on that side, or maybe here. Yeah, I think that here they looks better. Just connect them well. That butterfly, I think we have to use a half of 3D foam and add and again half of 3D foam. Under the butterfly. Yes, so after you glue this tree butterfly, then our card it's finished, so you can clean your space for create. That's my favorite one from that set of cards. I hope that you really like that cards too. And now it's a time for a last card made of Moments collection. Again, cut your paper in 18 centimeters. Then score the paper, turn the paper and score on 10.5. On each white paper you have to make this the same steps. So cut it on 8, then turn the paper and score on 10.5 centimeters. Then you have to find the paper from that collection. So that's one. But first we have to use that paper with the gears in blue dress on the corner, but we need the paper from the back side. So this white wooden paper. Cut out the footers because maybe you would like use it for that card or maybe for other cards or maybe for album. Yeah, and remember that our first layer must be half centimeter smaller than card. So 10 centimeters we have to cut. By 16 and a half. But look, I cut first just a bit on that side, then I turn the paper. I wanna keep just a bit of the roses and the leaves, and then second side I cut for 16 and a half. Yeah, so I would like have like just a bit green leaves on the bottom, and then clean wooden pattern on whole the paper. Yeah, and now the rest of paper are useful. Just cut them just 1 centimeter, and from the second part again 1 centimeter. So we will use this rest of paper for our second layer. So they should have just like 9 centimeters. First layer, of course, again we have to connect by glue with our white paper, with our base, card base. Like that. Connect it well. And now this two piece of paper, they will be like here and here, but we have to prepare them. They will be not exactly like that, so we have to tear the paper, not straight way. You have to receive a white, like a white wave on the border. Yeah, and on the second paper again. Yeah, it should be not irregular. Yeah, then just fold the paper a bit. As you can see, then we have a tiny white wave on the border. So we will connect them with first layer on 2 millimeters foam, and the second part of paper also on 2 millimeters foam, and maybe two between. Yeah, so on one 6 and on second 8 foams. Just fold them a bit on the fingers. Yeah, just also keep some distance from the top, left like 2 centimeters space, so we have to see the first layer, because there will be also a tags. Yeah, and the same on the bottom. We want to see just a bit of the first layer. Yeah, and just glue it. Fold a bit the paper, and then we need another paper with the card. Yeah, so we have to cut out one of the card, doesn't matter which one, you can decide which you prefer. I use that one on the corner, from the corner. Just cut out that frame, and then you have to cut it to 9 centimeters. 9 centimeters. So I will cut just a bit on one side and a bit on the second side, just for half. Yeah, like that. Then turn the paper. Yeah, and now on that way you should have 9 centimeters. Just check. Yeah, 9 centimeters. 9 centimeters. Yeah. And now your cards have same size as a second layer. You can check. Yeah, correct. It's exactly the same size. And again we have to tear the paper on one side. Then we have to check, because we want to see just a bit this layer. And then we have to also tear the paper on the second side, but check where. So this card should cover the shorter paper which are under that paper. Yeah, as you can see now, the paper must cover this empty space between them. You just fold a bit the paper on the fingers, and we can add right now 2 millimeters foam on this empty space, because the second layers are on 2 millimeters foam. Then we have the same distance. Yes, so we have to add here 2 millimeters foam. But we want to have that card a bit higher, so we have to add another double 2 millimeters foam. So here is in the middle, it's like 4 millimeters. Sorry, and here just single foam on that layer, because they are already on 2 millimeters foam. Yeah, like that. They should be a bit more up, because we don't want to see them. And just connect them like that. Fold a bit the paper. Yeah, so our card is prepared for composition. Now we need these elements which we prepared before. This tag is too long, so we have to cut it. It's still too long, so cut it again. Yeah, a bit too long yet. We destroy almost whole tag. Yeah, just fold a bit the tag and put the glue on it and just stick it between the first and second layer. So it looks like a tag, whole tag is there. Then again we have to destroy another tag. We have to cut it again, and that tag will be between the second and third layer. Yeah, still too big, too long. So cut a bit again, and then you can glue it just between second and third layer. I add the tags because then the cards look more interesting. Yeah, look like many layers, many elements, many embellishments, but there is just a few elements for decorate that card. Now we start make the composition here in the center. Yeah, here we will have a gears on the middle on the main composition, and then we start to build the composition with this single roses around. That paper it's also nice for use it as a third layer. Yeah. But let's go create that card. First we need the gears. This is one gear, second, yeah, and third. First we need these two gears in a blue and green dress. They are the green is on the left and the blue is on the right side, and then this tiny cute gears will be on the top of them. She will be more up on the front because she's a small, she's a tiny girl. Yes, so we added 2 millimeters foam on both of them. The gears which are on the left and right side on the card. Yeah, here and here. Yeah, they look on each other. Yeah, on that way they looks not nice because then the composition looks like very open composition. So if they are on that way, it's look that the composition it's more concentrated in the center of our cards. And then this gear will be on a higher foams, so we need to 3 millimeters foam. We have to check where she exactly will be on the card. Yeah, over there, so we can add extra foams here. Yeah, she will be there, maybe one also here, then we are sure that she will not fold. Yeah, and I decide at a double 3 millimeters foam, so add again 3 millimeters foam on each foams which are already on the gear. Yeah, and she will be there between these both gears. So it's look like they play together on the cards. And then we have the single roses. They are from the background of the paper with the tags and circles. So we have to add them on a foam. First we start from the left and right side till the center. Yes, so we add one on the left side, one on the right side on 2 mm foam. And then here another. We have to cover that small gear, yeah, by roses. We don't want to see that she is cutted straight. Yeah, here also one flower on the top, so just fold it. That flower can be on a just on a glue, yeah, like that. So 4 of the flowers are already on the cards. Yeah, and a five flower are on the cards. One flower, one rose, single rose I add on the top on 3 mm foam, just single foam in the middle of rose head. And then maybe that single rose I also add here because there is some empty space. Yeah, and one maybe here. Yeah, but just on the glue. And that's it. Then I cut the sentence from the footers, from the bottom of the paper, which I tell you that you have keep it because maybe you would like use them. Yeah, I used just the sentence on foam. Yeah, so I think that with the sentence the cards look much better. I use of course in a Polish, but you can use in English because they are in 2 languages on the paper. So thank you so much. Here are our 4 cards. I hope that you really enjoy that class and waiting impatiently foresee your works in our Scrub Boys Friends group where you can share them. So thank you again for watch my class and hope that we'll meet you again in some other online workshop by Scrub Boys.